Hi everybody, today's topic is on equivalent ratio word problems. As a reminder, you do not need to write down everything, but be sure to jot down important information and at least one example of each type of problem that we cover today. Remember that you can also pause to jot down important notes, rewind to view important information again, and fast forward if you think you already got it. But be careful, be sure you do not miss anything important when you fast forward. So let's begin with some example problems on Khan Academy. This problem right here asks you to use the following image to complete the sentences describing the ratio of big fish to small fish. There are 8 big fish for every blank small fish. There are 4 big fish for every blank small fish. You might want to pause it and try it out on your own first. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do is underline that it's big fish to small fish. Big to small. And my pen is doing something weird. Okay, so very important, the order, right? Because remember, for ratios, order does matter. So it's big to small. Then we have these two ratios over here. 8 big fish. So I'm going to put that under here. 8 big fish for every blank small fish. This is what I have to fill in. And then 4 big fish for every blank small fish. 4 for the big and the blank for the small. So I'm putting them in their right category. The first number is big fish. That's the 8 and the 4. And the second number is a small fish. Those are the unknowns. What I can do is count up how much big fish to small fish, right? It looks like also the big fish are red, so they made it easy for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 big fish already. So if I count up the small fish, that's probably going to go into this blank over here, matching up with the 8 big fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 small fish. So I have one done already. 8 to 10. And then we have 4 to blank. Remember, we're still talking about the same tank of big to small fish. So I want to keep these two ratios equivalent, just like what it says in the problem. If I keep it equivalent, I have to perform the same operation to both sides. To get from 8 to 4, I would divide, because it's getting to a smaller number. 8 divided by 2 in half is 4. If I divide by 2 on that side, I also want to divide by 2 on the other side because we want to keep it equivalent, the same. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have 8 to 10 from counting, and then 4 to 5 by reducing to get your equivalent ratios. Let's check it out. All right, there you go. That's that problem. So equivalent ratios, we want to make sure we're performing the same operation on both sides. Let's try this one out. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can try it on your own. So in this problem, it reads that Cora uses the following ingredients to make 1 s'more. So this is only making 1 s'more. Whenever I see numbers, I want to underline it because I might be using it later. The ingredients include 2 graham crackers, 8 chocolate squares, and 3 marshmallows. They want to know how many s'mores can Cora make if she has 20 graham crackers. So they gave us information. They said for graham crackers, she's going to make 20. They want to know how many s'mores that she can make with the 20 graham crackers. So graham crackers to s'mores. This one, it doesn't really matter the order because they just want one answer at the end. So they're not asking a ratio. The previous one wanted a ratio, so it's very important the order. 20 graham crackers, we don't know how many s'mores that'll get us. However, we did get information in the beginning that for 1 s'more, 1 underneath the s'mores category, for 1 s'more, you need 2 graham crackers, 2 underneath the graham cracker column. So pause real quick to see if you understand how we set this up. We saw that the question asked us about graham crackers and s'mores. So we created two different categories. The question told us that she's going to want to make 20, or that she has 20 graham crackers. So we put the 20 under graham crackers. We don't know how many s'mores she can make with that, so we made that blank under s'mores. In the problem, they said for one s'more, there's 2 graham crackers. So we put 2 under graham crackers, 1 under s'mores. And that's just helping us organize our thoughts. You could totally solve it in your own way, but I just like making sure that my categories are very clear, so I'm not jumbling up the numbers. I'm not putting s'mores numbers underneath graham crackers. I'm not putting graham crackers numbers under s'mores. They're exactly where they need to belong. So here now I need to go from 1 to the blank. Okay? So on both sides, I need to perform the same operation. How do I get from 2 to 20? Well, 2 is becoming a bigger number, so that's going to be multiplication. 2 needs to multiply by 10 to get to 20, because all I need to do is add that 0 at the end. I'm just moving it over one place value, 1/10th place. Same thing on the other side. To get from 1 to the blank, I also need to make it into a bigger number, and I'm going to perform the same function. I wrote down the answer instead of the operation. Times, or what I thought was the answer. I was looking at this 2 instead. 1 also has to multiply by 10, so 1 times 10 is 10. That's how mistakes happen, right? So that makes sense. If I need 2 graham crackers for 1 s'more, then that means for 20 graham crackers, it's going to be 10 s'mores, because each of these is going to make 1 s'more. So I have 1 s'more, I have 2 s'mores, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 s'mores, for a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 graham crackers. Okay, so that's 10 s'mores. So you can either draw a picture, or you could, use your categories like that, whichever way to help you get to the correct answer. And that's correct. The other type of problem that you're going to have to work out is equivalent ratio word problems. So these are a little bit different, and you'll see why. So I'm going to read the problem, and then you can pause the video and see if you can solve it yourself. Elton is a candle maker. Each 15 centimeters long candle he makes burns evenly for 6 hours. If Elton makes a 45 centimeter long candle, how long will it burn? So go ahead and pause and see if you can figure it out on your own. Again, what I like to do is create my categories. There's 2 things that this question is asking. It's talking about how long the candle is, and it's talking about how long it'll burn. So we're going to talk about the length of the candle, and we're going to talk about how long it burns. L to B. Doesn't matter the order because the answer is just in one number. So it's not asking for a ratio. The information in the problem is telling me that each 15 centimeter long candle, so that's how long, 15, burns for 6 hours. Burns for 6. These 2 match and they go together. 15 centimeters long, burns for 6 hours. The question says that Elton makes a 45 centimeter long candle. This one is how long the candle is. So that goes under here, 45. We don't know how long it'll burn. That's our mystery number. So what you should have done is figured out the operation it would take to get from your previous original ratio down to your new one. 15 times 3, because you're getting to a bigger number. You can use your calculator to check that. 15 times 3 is 45. So on the opposite side, you're going to choose the same operation, times 3 as well. 6 times 3, 18. So the answer is 18 hours. A little bit different than the other ones. It's going to be a little bit more difficult the further on you go. Okay, so let's check it. Great. Let's do one last one. This one, it says Stefan is making meringue with egg whites and sugar. He uses 50 grams of sugar for every egg white. If Stefan uses 10 egg whites, how many grams of sugar does he use? Go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own. So what you probably notice is that these problems are the same as the previous problems. The only thing different is that there's no tables and pictures. So it's more words based. So that's why it's a little bit difficult, but it's the same stuff going on, okay? Let's see, the problem is talking about egg whites and grams of sugar. So egg versus sugar. The problem says he uses 50 grams of sugar, 50 for the sugar, for every, that's some ratio language right here, for every egg white. How many egg whites is that if it says for every egg white? It doesn't have a number. You should think to yourself, yeah, it doesn't have a number, but it's pretty much 1 for every 1 egg white. When it doesn't have a number, it's basically saying it's 1. That's just like if I said, yesterday I ate an apple. How many apples did I eat? I ate 1. It was singular, right? If I don't tell you the number, I said I ate an apple, then that's 1. Because it's kind of implied that I just ate only 1 apple. I didn't say apples, I just said apple. That's singular, that's 1. So he uses 50 grams of sugar for every 1 egg white. They didn't say egg whites. If Stefan uses 10 egg whites, so 10 goes here, how many grams of sugar does he use? We don't know this information. So 1 has to multiply by 10 to get down here. So then 50 also has to multiply by 10. Oh my gosh, 50 times 10 is 500 because we're adding on that 0 whenever we multiply by 10. So 500 grams of sugar, which makes sense, right? 50 grams of sugar for every 1 egg white. So if I multiply this to 10, then it's going to be 10 times as many, which is 500. Okay? And that's all we're going to cover today, because I think you are ready to try it on your own. Let me know if you have questions when you work on this, and if not, I will see you in class.